Gaya Nicole Aya Corpus. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Dana. And or and Rotarians in as to all Rotaractor and guests from the different parts of the Philippines and the world. So if it's your first time, welcome to our Rotary Academy. Class, welcome back to Rotary Academy. Today will be class. This would not be possible without the guidance of our district governor, Danu, and my classmate and our district youth service chair, Veronica Ho, the district training team headed by our very own past district governor, Danilo Dani Fausto, the dean of the Rotary Department, the third, the district club admin committee led by past president Cecil Rodriguez Rivera, and the host club of today's Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of West Central, led by my mom, transforming president Bernardita Badet Pineda. This Rotary Academy is also in cooperation with Rotaract multi-district very own Louis Boy Derial. As many of us know, and I quote, the 2019 Council of Legislation, the Constitution documents of our Rotaract as a member elevates Rotaract and positions Rotary for a future that is innovative, inclusive, and adapting to the world around us. It recognizes that contributions have different but serve side by side in a shared desire to create lasting change across communities and inner selves. End quote. This is indeed a remarkable news district, but also in the Rotaract world. After its announcement, in these past few months alone, changed. From understanding it and educating our fellow Rotaractors and Rotarians about it, brought about by this movement. In fact, in our district alone, we had conducted 2 Elevate Rotaract talks, and we have already numbers of to Rotary International. However, despite all of these efforts, we think this change is easier than even discussing these times on different still misconceptions about it. Sure that this is not only true to our district, but in others as well. Hence, this leads us to our very own topic for today, Rotaract. This is by distinguished speakers, led by the Charter President and fellow District Rotaract Chair from RI District 3810, part of the Rotaract Task Force. He will be joined by experienced Rotaract leader, whom will be properly introduced in a few minutes. And mind and attention. We also hope that this effort will clarify all the concerns and or misconceptions about the new status of Rotaract in our organization. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless us all. Back to you, Dr. Jeff.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Charter President Aya, for giving us a sneak peek of what's about to happen this evening. And with great pleasure, I would like to introduce to you our transforming District Governor, Johnny Gao Yu.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors. Thank you for inviting me to this 16th class of the Rotary Academy, Elevate Rotaract. It is important to remember that Rotary is a diverse organization of millions of members in all over the world. Just as every organization has its own distinct personality, so does every Rotary clubs and Rotaract clubs with every potential members. We may be of different age or profession, come from a different background, or live in a different neighborhood from most members of our own organization. But this is even more reason to offer an invitation to let the youth become future leaders of our society. The hospitality, the friendship, the generosity and graciousness of every Rotarian and every Rotaractors in this room today symbolize the kindness in you, the mark of service above self. People around the world know that they can depend on Rotary in their times of need, and they know that Rotarians and Rotaractors are not only want to help, but have the ability to get things done. The world now has the largest generation of young people in history, and I place great hope in their power to shape our future. Rotarians must invest in the empowerment, education, and employment of the young people. There are 1.8 billion young people in the world today, representing a staggering amount of human potential. Yet, too many of them are trapped in poverty with few opportunities to learn or to earn a decent living. The incredible courage, bravery, and dedication of young people are what the world needs to inspire and lead us into the future. Increasing investment in young people is the key. This includes promoting quality education that prepares them for future opportunities. A diversity of training will be needed, from quality primary and secondary schools to technical training, to a 4-year college, and to research-intensive universities. Only by ensuring opportunities that open the future to all young people do we create a better future. Let us elevate them. Let us open opportunities for them. Always remember this. We dream big, we plan with a vision, and we execute with intense passion. Thank you, and mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Governor Johnny Gao Yu, for that wonderful message. To start off with our session, let us first have a short icebreaker. So we're going to launch a poll here in Zoom containing questions regarding the topic this evening. Then you'll just choose your answer among the options given. Please answer them honestly. The purpose of this activity is to know and gauge your interests on Elevate Rotaract. You only have 20 seconds to answer once the poll pops on your screen so that we can save time. Okay, so let us launch the poll now. For the first question, are you in favor for the removal of the upper age limit on the Rotaractors? Next question. Are you in favor of enhancing Rotaract clubs to be chartered without Rotary Club sponsor? Question number three. Are you in favor of collecting annual per capita dues for the Rotaractors? Next question. Are you in favor of allowing Rotaractors to apply for global grants? And finally, are you in favor of appointing Rotaractors in Rotary District Committees? Okay, so let us see the results of the poll. Okay, for the first question, are you in favor of the removal of the upper age limit for the Rotaractors? So, majority answered yes. For the next question, are you in favor of enabling Rotaract clubs to be chartered without Rotary Club sponsor? So this is a closed fight between yes or no. So maybe after the the talks, we'll be able to enlighten our members. For the third question, are you in favor of collecting annual per capita dues from the Rotaractors? So 52% answered yes. For the fourth question, are you in favor of allowing Rotaractors to apply for global grants? So almost unanimous. 76% of the participants answered yes. And for the last question, are you in favor of appointing Rotaractors in Rotary District Committees? 82% answered yes. Okay. So thank you very much for being honest on our poll questions. We hope that before the end of the program, we'll be able to clarify all of them. So without further ado, may we call on Rotarian Bernadette Det Mercado for our club, from our club, the Rotary Club of West Central, to properly introduce our resource speaker this evening.
Thank you, Doc Jeff. Our speaker for this evening will be talking about Elevate Rotaract policy changes. He is the charter president of the Rotary Club of Metro Escolta. He is a current member of the Rotaract Committee of Rotary International. He was also an appointed member of the Elevate Rotaract Task Force of Rotary International, chaired by RI President Barry Rayson. He is also the District Rotaract Chair of Rotary International District 3810. A former Rotaractor, Pilipinas Rotaract MDIO Chair, Interactor, and Group Study Exchange alumnus. So without much further ado, our speaker for Elevate Rotaract. Let us all welcome Charter President Melchor, Choc, and Cabo.
Thank you for that kind introduction, my fellow Rotarian, and to everyone who's here. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Good evening, and thank you for having me in your Rotary Academy. This is a good opportunity, really, for me to be here to talk to you about the recent updates with regards to the status of our partner in service. We used to call them as partner of service, Rotaract. And now, with all these changes, I would like to start by sharing to you a little story about my Rotary journey. So, we all know that as a Rotarian, we are all leaders here. And one of our major goals is to serve as mentors to our fellow Rotarians and also to our Rotaractors and Interactor. I remember when I started joining this club, I started as an interactor way back when I was in college. It's around it was in 1995 or 1996. I don't remember now, but I started as a scholar of Interact, and then um, recently I was appointed to be part of the inter-country committee between Germany and the Philippines. And one Rotarian mentioned there actually is she is a past district governor, and she said, "I hope, Chok, that you feel comfortable attending this meeting with all the past governors from the Philippines and from Germany." And because I'm the only person there who's not a past governor or a governor of a country, of a district. And then I realized that my Rotary journey really served as my tool in order to be active in joining such organization or groups of Rotarians who are trying to do good in the world. As I mentioned, I started as an interactor, and it was also in my introduction that I was a member of a Rotaract club. I served three-time president for a Rotaract club, and then I became the DRR of our district. Then after that, I was the second MDIO chairman. So for many years, parang tatay na po ako nila Louie. And I would like to commend what MDIO Pilipinas is doing now compared to our time na talagang hindi pa kami kompleto as a country. I was an alumnus of the GSE program. And then after GSE, I joined Rotary Manila Metro. And then after a few years, I asked permission from them if I can charter my own club with fellow former Rotaractors and GSE alumni and other young professionals and my friends. And then after that, I was given a chance to serve as part of the Rotaract committee in 2018. And that particular assignment will last until this Rotary year, until 2021. And I really learned a lot from all these experiences since I was an interactor. Pero let me just give you a little background of what is Rotaract today. So RI, particularly the Rotaract Committee, launched a survey very recently, and these are the things that we got from our Rotaractors. Okay, the first one is um, Rotaract member engagement is very important. As you all know, these changes happening in our organization will really have an impact not only for Rotaractors, but also for Rotarians and now for Interact. Later, I will also discuss that part. So Rotaractors are attracted to participating community service project. This is the very reason why Rotaractors are really joining. And if you will visit the page of the MDIO Pilipinas, you will see there the overwhelming projects that our Rotaractors are doing in times of the pandemic, and also in support of the people who are affected by the recent typhoons. Rotaractors are also joined the organization because of many reasons. Aside from community service, they want to gain more friends or to develop their leadership skills. But in the second bullet point, Rotaractors, however, are overwhelmingly interested in being developed professionally. So, as I mentioned, leadership and to enhance their personal social network. Just like us Rotarians, we want to establish connections among our fellow Rotarians for business and for other things. Our Rotaractors are doing the same now. And in this survey, as mentioned, community service was the top priority, why our Rotaractors are likely to attend their club projects or activities or events of other Rotaract clubs. They really want to attend fellowship. Even during this pandemic, you'll be surprised how they are doing their fellowship projects. So they want to attend club meetings, they want to do social events and also conferences. Most of our Rotaractors are very satisfied with the kind of service that we are giving to them. And but despite all this, there are also reasons why most of them leave the club. And the first reason is that they lack time to commit to club activities. 50% of them answered that. And then life events, maybe, especially in the Philippines, most of our Rotaractors are the breadwinners of their family. So minsan nagpapahinga sila just to, um, fix muna yung mga bagay sa bahay, no? Tulungan muna si nanay at si tatay, etc. Loss of interest and motivation. So these are the things that is also very much the same with Rotary. Kaya we need to look into how we can motivate and to continuously invite these people to stay in our club para hindi masayang yung membership nila. Priorities shift or change, for example, yung umalis sila dito sa bansa to work, etc. or nag-aral. Personality issues within the club, pwede din. Kasi nga siguro, there's an issue with regards to fellowship, baka hindi nagkakaroon ng bonding yung mga club, etc. and so on. So, sa lahat ng mga nakita namin mga service na to, we also realized that there's a need for us to launch a movement in order to encourage our Rotaractors to stay in the organization and to make them more involved in really developing projects and services for their organization. And in this particular session with you, my fellow Rotarians and Rotaractors, our guests, I will be discussing with you the recent Rotaract policy updates and the Rotary Foundation. Maybe at some point I'll be touching that as well. And as I mentioned, and as mentioned by Aya earlier, my fellow DRC, it all started in 2018. So in 2017, I applied for the Rotaract Committee. And if you are a Rotarian or a Rotaractor who's looking for an opportunity um, to really contribute, for example, for the future of the organization, like planning for the Rotaract pre-convention, um, making recommendations to the RI board of directors. So when it comes to Rotaract and Interact, if you're interested, I invite you to join and apply for the Rotaract committee position. And so in 2018, during the meeting, we come up with an idea of why not elevate Rotaract in a more improved status in the organization. At first, akala namin hindi to magiging reality, but Barry Racine was one of those, RI president who's very supportive of Rotaract. And we were so surprised that in 2009, they launched the Elevate Rotaract Task Force. No, with the, of course, leadership of President Mark Maloney. He appointed Barry Racine to head this group, and I was very fortunate to be part of this group of Rotarians and Rotaractors from all over the Philippines. As mentioned earlier by the Philippines and all parts of the world, and as mentioned by Aya earlier, this particular organization entails or is assigned to create um, suggestions to the RI board in order to really elevate the status of our organization. So imagine a former interactor like me standing beside Barry Racine, who's the former president of RI, to for example, to Yinka Babalola, who's the former vice president of RI, and all these big names in Rotary na nakikita ko lang po sa Rotary Magazine. And of course, our very own RI Director, Rafi Garcia. Lahat po ng pinag-usapan namin, there are a lot of updates actually. There are a lot of new things that I can share to you, but I am not really allowed. So, isi-secret ko na lang po yung iba, and I will just, mention them na parang kunyari hindi ko po sinabi. Anyway, here are some of the key changes in the status of Rotaract. Okay, I'll be discussing the 7 key changes, but I will, there are 7 changes, but I will only discuss 6 out of the 7 because the other one is all about the foundation, but I'll touch on that topic as well. So anyway, so the Rotaract clubs will be able to establish new club. Dito muna tayo sa sorry. Parang may na-miss akong isa. Okay. So, tama. So, the first one that I would like to discuss is that Rotaractors are now able to establish new club with or without a sponsor. In our survey earlier in the poll, 16 of you said no to that item, and 15 said yes, that it's okay for a Rotaractor to establish their own club. Maybe if we have time later, I want to ask those Rotarians who mentioned that they're not yet ready to let the Rotaractors establish their own clubs without the sponsorship of a Rotary club. So in this particular change in our ruling in the status of Rotaract, there we offer greater flexibility for our Rotaractors so that they can really start their own club. Pero personally speaking, as I speak to Rotarians and to Rotaractors, I still want them to consult Rotary before establishing a club para po talagang matuloy natin yung ating um, kagustuhan to mentor our Rotaractors, because establishing a club is no joke. There are a lot of things that you need to consider, but on the other side of the coin, we have a lot of Rotaractors who are very much knowledgeable to what Rotary is all about. And because of the help of MDIO, again, congratulations to MDIO. I'm so overwhelmed with the kind of support you're showing to our Rotaractors. Marami sa kanila po talaga ang mas independent na and mas ready to establish their own clubs. Another change in the policy is this: Rotary clubs will be open to young adults at least 18 years old. So kanina in our poll, there's also a question about the upper age limit in the Rotaract organization, and a lot of us said yes, but again, a good number of people in the call sa ating 102 na nandito, 12 of you said no to that question. And Rotaract clubs will be open to young adults, as I mentioned. A Rotaract club may, but is not required to do this, not to set an age limit, if the club, in accordance to their bylaws, gets approval of its members, or if applicable to their sponsoring club. So it's really about sitting as an organization or as a club and then try to see the profile of the members. If you feel that your Rotaract club is ready to accept members who are beyond 30 years old, then might as well do it. But if you think hindi pa ready yung club, for example, you're a school-based club, maybe it's I mean, not maybe, but it's okay to still practice what we used to do as a Rotaract club. But again, this is an open and flexible policy that you can really explore. Talagang pipiliin niyo po what is applicable for your club. Okay? Next is this. So, the Rotary districts are encouraged to include Rotaractors in every district committee. In the survey, it was also questioned, and many of you said yes, but there's a good number of people who are in the middle of things. Sabi nila, hindi pa sila sure if ready na ba ako to see a Rotaractor serving the district committee. This year, some of the districts that I visited are already doing this. And I'm not sure with your district now, but I really hope that in the coming Rotary year, we will start having Rotaract counterparts in our district committee for the Rotary. Because as mentioned, we want to encourage mentorship. We want to prepare our Rotaractors to be Rotarians, and ano pa ba yung pinakamagandang paraan to train them but to give them opportunity to participate in our district events. The minimum recommendation qualification for the appointment to a district committee is membership, okay? Other than honorary member, syempre hindi po pwede yun. Good standing in the Rotary or Rotaract club in the district. So they should be active. So I suggest yung mga senior Rotaractors nyo to who are very knowledgeable with, how the district is running in your particular area. District governors are strongly encouraged to appoint Rotaractors to every district committee. I want to repeat that. In every district committee. To our governor now, to the coming governors, I hope that you consider this, because the RI president is the one encouraging us to do this. And especially this year, RI President Holger Kanak is an advocate of Rotaract as well, and he is also asking us in the committee if we are seeing Rotaractors having a position already in the district level, and we are telling them that there are still many districts in the world who are not yet open to the idea, but they are on the process of educating their Rotary clubs and the district with regards to these new changes. And I'm very happy for the Rotary Academy of this district for giving us this opportunity to share with you the changes happening in the Rotaract status. The next point that I would like to share to everyone is this. Rotary International has set goals for Rotaractors. One, to increase the number of Rotaractors reported to Rotary by 100% by 2022. And I must say that we are really getting this particular objective now. Number two, increase the number of reported Rotaractors who joined Rotary clubs by 20% in 2022. This is one of our biggest challenge. Now that we are um, cutting the upper age limit, a lot of Rotarians are saying, eh di lalong wala nang pupunta sa Rotary Club, tinanggal nyo na yung age limit eh. But you know what? I always tell to my Rotaractors and to the Rotaractors that I meet all over the world, our end goal is to become Rotarians in the future. And Rotaract is just a place for us to be trained, no, so that we are ready to do more for the community. I'm not saying that Rotaractors are not doing more for the community, but actually kaya nga tayo nag-elevate ng Rotaract, same status na tayo. But we hope that in the future, Rotaractors who are more mature and who are more prepared will cross, no, to becoming Rotarians. And yun din ang ultimate dream ko eh. Kaya I started as an interactor, Rotaractor, Rotarian. I'm the DRC now. So pagkatapos nito, magiging AG ako, and then maybe I'll be the governor, and maybe the RI director, and maybe the RI president. We don't know. That's the ultimate goal. As mentioned by Governor kanina, let's dream big dreams. And we want our Rotaractors to do the same. So I hope that even if we already elevated the Rotaract status, we continuously encourage them to cross to Rotary so that our organization will continuously grow. And then the third one is increase the number of reported Rotaractors to 1 million by 2029. And this one is very achievable because today, with the help of the MDIOs in the Philippines and the other parts of the world, we are now really getting a good numbers of Rotaractors reporting their members to the RI because we want to really see the impact of our organization to the youth of today. And also, siguro, just to highlight this Elevate Rotaract, sa lahat ng sinasabi ko, my fellow Rotarians, we want you to remember that the Rotaractors are no longer called partner of service, but also as a member of the Rotary International. So when you look at the new policy that they will be releasing very, very soon, it is stated there that the new members of Rotary is both Rotaract and Rotary. And few weeks ago, they already launched a an invitation for interactors because we are now putting up an Interact Advisory Council. Because as we elevate Rotaract, ang susunod po nating iaangat ay ang Interact. What will happen is that the status of the Rotaract before will be the status of our interactors in the future. So sa madaling salita po, para tayong scaffolding, we are building, ladders for our young people to have a smooth transition from being an interactor, a Rotaractor, then as a Rotarian. Next is that it was also questioned earlier in the survey about the per capita dues. A lot of you said yes, and some of you said no. Maybe the other Rotarians who said no are thinking, are the Rotaractors capable of paying dues? So according to RI, Rotaract clubs will begin paying dues to Rotary International um, starting July 1st of 2022. That's next Rotary year. So if you are the incoming governor, if you are the incoming president of your Rotary club, this is one of the major things that you need to tell your Rotaract clubs, and you need to tell your club as well. Because if our Rotaractors will start paying next Rotary year 2022, a university-based club member will pay $5 each. And then if you are a member of a community-based club, you will pay $8 every year. So the $50 one-time free for chartering a new club will be eliminated. So per member na po ang pagbabayad natin ng mga club. So the next question would be, what will be the benefit of this, for the Rotaractors paying the dues? So the board believes that it is important that RI deliver value to Rotaractors even before Rotaract clubs are required to pay the dues. Before July 1, 2022, Rotaractors will have access to new leadership development resources from Toastmasters International. I hope that you're all aware of this. We already updated the online goal setting tools for Rotaractors, and the improved online club administration tools. Our Rotaractors are enjoying these benefits now. The dues collected from Rotaract clubs will support the new and existing products and services that will help us deliver even greater value to our Rotaract members in the future. So, ang next question siguro of some Rotarians, paano nyo nalaman na $5 at $8 yung kukunin yung dues sa mga Rotaractors natin? Last October 2019, all Rotaractors were sent a survey and they were asked for their opinions about the Rotaract dues, amounts, and calculation methods. More than 9,000 Rotaractors from around the world responded, and they provided a sample set of data that was for a larger than what was needed in order to present the Rotary world accurately. The board based both amount of dues in the method of calculation on Rotaractors' responses on the survey. So imagine a Rotaractor who's studying in a university and he or she will start paying $5 next Rotary year. So parang nag-sacrifice lang po siya ng dalawang Starbucks. So if you are a Rotarian and you see that your Rotaractors are not yet ready, maybe this is the proper time for us to train them on how to do fundraising projects. Maybe we can ask them to create projects that will, generate funds to support the membership of their club members. And also maybe for some Rotarians there, sabihin nyo, sige, ano muna tayo, 50-50 or 60-40. It's really up to you. But my call for everyone is sana we start to educate our Rotaractors the value of giving to Rotary pagdating sa monetary contribution natin. So, bakit next question, why won't clubs start paying dues until 2022? So, according to the board, that they felt strongly that Rotaract clubs should start receiving additional benefits before they begin paying dues to RI. Over the coming years, our Rotaract clubs will have access to additional tools and resources at no extra cost. Gusto natin kasing ibigay sa kanilang serbisyo agad-agad. Clubs will begin paying dues on 2022 to sustain these new offerings and will allow us to deliver again more projects and more services to our Rotaractors in the near future. So I hope that this one is clear. And if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box and we will try to answer them later if we still have time. And then the next among the changes is this. We need to start creating foundation committee to our Rotaract clubs. Okay? Under Article 4 of the revised Rotaract Club bylaws, the Rotary Foundation was added as part of the Standing Committee of Rotaractors. Hindi na po yung avenues of service lang, kasama na yung Foundation Committee. There are 6 committees in the Rotaract Club: International, Professional, Community Service, Finance, Club, and now Foundation. So, bakit po? Because in the near future, as mentioned, there was a question there if we are going to allow or are you in favor of giving global grants to our Rotaractors? And a lot of you said yes. Because siguro all of us will admit that our Rotaractors are very much capable of doing projects that are worth to be called as global grants or recipient of global grants. And later I will be sharing to you some stories of amazing projects of our Rotaractors. So as I mentioned, the Rotary Foundation is something that we need to share to our Rotaractors. We need to explain to them that when we talk about the foundation, we need to explain to them saan ba mapupunta yung mga idinodonate ninyo. A lot of our Rotaractors are very smart in asking, saan mapupunta yung pera ko if I will contribute? So as Rotarians, we need to explain this to them. Ano ba yung impact ng donation natin and why do we need to donate? We can tell them that every donation that they will give to Rotary Foundation will help battle diseases like polio and now COVID-19 and malaria and tuberculosis and all these things na sila ay nakikita nila in their communities. When we ask our Rotaractors to contribute to the foundation, we are providing clean water to many kids in all over the world na talagang kailangan na kailangan natin. When we ask and encourage our Rotaractors to donate to the foundation, we are telling them to support advocacies to end bullying, to support projects for mental health among the young kids of today. These are the things that we can use to motivate our Rotaractors to really contribute to the foundation. I remember when I visited the RI President House in Evanston, I get to meet amazing Rotarians and Rotaractors, and talagang naintindihan ko how the foundation is doing a lot of things for many countries, and hindi talaga masasayang yung ating mga donations. As we continue to elevate Rotaract, I hope to see them also standing together with John Wicos, the General Secretary of Rotary, and to be with Jennifer Jones, the future RI President, and to see Rotaractors as Arch Club Society members. We don't know the future, but the future is bright not only for Rotaract but also for Rotarians. But when we talk about the foundation, according to John Wico in one of our meetings, he said that we need to encourage our Rotaractors to donate individually or as a club at any amount to TRF. Recently, sayang wala si Patricia from Brazil, but in Brazil, they were able to raise, thousands of dollars to end polio. And I'm sure that our Rotaractors here, if they can do projects for the typhoon, na thousands of dollars din yung amount, they can really launch projects to support the foundation, and we need to motivate them. It is important to have a club foundation committee, as I mentioned, dahil po starting, for the past how many years, Rotary International launched already this Rotaract Giving Certificate. A Rotaract club can donate at least $50, 5 members or $50, tigti $10 lang po sila, and they will be receiving a certificate from RI. So I hope that we continuously encourage our Rotaractors, we continuously mentor them so that they can, contribute to the foundation. Later in the panel discussion, it will be discussed further. So, ano pa po yung gusto kong i-highlight sa inyong lahat? 146 Rotaract clubs around the world contributed at least $50. Okay? And mga 42,400 USD dollars po yan. In 3810 in my district, 4 na clubs lang po ang nakapag-contribute sa foundation. I don't know with your district, baka mas marami pong nagbibigay dyan. Sa amin po may Rock Carmona, Rock Chinatown Manila, and Rock Dasmariñas City, and Rock Manila lamang po. Sana dumami pa yung mga Rotaractors who will be contributing to the foundation. And I want to call all the Rotaractors here, the Rotarians here, to encourage our clubs to contribute to the foundation. So this decision of RI agreed to allow Rotaract clubs to either the international or host sponsor of a global grant beginning July 1st of next year, provided that the Rotaract clubs has previously partnered with the Rotary Club on global grant. So eto na po yun. Very crucial ang taon na to for the Rotary clubs who are here today. I want you to start, if you are planning to apply for a global grant, for a global grant, I encourage you to make your Rotaractors involved and be part of the whole thing. There is a so-called Rotaract Outstanding Project Awards, and boy, you will be surprised how the Rotaractors are doing their community projects. Marami po sa kanila ang worth to be awarded the global grants. If you are planning to apply for a global grant, sit with your Rotaractors and train them, because next year, Rotary year, this is their chance to do more amazing services for the community. And the Rotarians who are here today are the key for them to be able to do and achieve this particular change in their status as members of the Rotary family. Agreed that Rotaractors will be eligible recipients of the Rotary Foundation Award. So imagine these new changes. A lot of young people today, Rotaractors who are professionals, are earning a lot. And maganda sana if they can, realize na when they earn something, they need to give something back to the community. And what's the best way to do that? Donate to the foundation. I do hope that we continuously inspire our Rotaractors so that in the future, sa mga susunod mong mga pagkakataon, we see more Rotaractors given that opportunity to go out of the district, to go out of the country, to represent our 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 country and our district. So there are a lot of trainings given to them. Yung Toastmasters, please encourage them to join. And you Rotarians also, please join this public speaking trainings because we all need this training also as to improve our work as Rotarians and as professionals. Let's encourage collaboration and mentoring among our Rotaract clubs. We invite them to join the Rotaract International Outstanding Project Awards and train them to for global grants. There's an Interact Advisory Council for those people who have experience in Interact. Join in this particular um, advocacy of Rotary. And in the future, I'm not saying that this is final, but being in the Rotaract committee, I see a lot of new things. Say, for example, yung tuluyang application for global grants, or maybe Rotaract representation not only in the district but maybe in the RI committee for them to represent a district or a zone to the board. We don't know. It's all happening now. And I'm really happy to be here again. I would like to say thank you for inviting me and thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you how we can elevate Rotaract. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank, thank you very much, Charter President Chok, for that informative and inspiring talk. So moving on, we are now at the second part of our session. Here we have some discussion between our speakers and our invited panelists. So again, if you have questions, just shoot us a message at our chat room because we are going to answer them in a while. While we are waiting for your questions, let me introduce to you our first panelist. She served as the president of the Rotaract Club of Mapusa, India during the Rotary year 2014 to 2015. She also served as the district Rotaract representative of Rotary International District 3170 during the year 2018 to 2019 Rotary year. She was one of the official Rotaractors to be invited to the 2019 Rotary International Assembly in San Diego, USA. She is the first Indian to be appointed as the Rotaract moderator for the year 2021 International Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome past District Rotaract Representative Nishita Pednikar.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Nishita. Thank you for joining us today.
An absolute pleasure.
Can we also have your insights about our session?
I really enjoyed Joke's session on proper what we should know about Elevate Rotaract. And yes, I would agree that this is a hand-in-hand process. It's with the Rotaractors and the Rotarians together will bring about this magic of being together.
Thank you, Nishita. To help us with the panel discussion and open forum, may you allow me to call back to our virtual stage our District Rotaract Chair and the Rotaract Advisor to Rotary International's Shaping the Future of Rotary Committee, Charter President Aya.
Okay. Thank you, Doc Jeff. Again, good evening, everyone, or shall I say good day to everyone, especially to those, especially to our resource speaker, Sir Chalk, hi, and to our panelist, Nishita. So as we know that all of you have a lot of questions about our topic about Elevate Rotaract this evening. Again, as a friendly reminder, if you have any questions, please send them to our chat box and we will try to answer all of most of them, if not all of them, before the end of the session. So to keep the ball rolling, let's begin. Hi, Sir Chalk.
Hey,
A long time no see.
Thank
So,
you. Nice seeing you again.
So the first question is actually for you. There are many dual members here in the Philippines, and when we say dual members, these are both Rotaractors and Rotarians at the same time. Has has the Rotaract committee already discussed the due structure for dual members? So if we are both Rotaractors and Rotarians, do we have to pay both Rotaract and Rotarian fee, or do we just have to pay one? So what is your answer to this question?
We've been discussing this, and until now, just to be honest to everyone, we still have no final decision. But at the moment, the decision is if you are a dual member, you need to pay both of the dues. So you'll pay additional $8 if you are a Rotaractor, and then the dues as a Rotarian. That's for now, but maybe in the future we can fix that. And this year we are sitting as a committee discussing that item as well.
Okay, great. So again, just to clarify, if you are a dual member, unfortunately, you have to pay both Rotaract and Rotarian fee.
Kailangan mas mayaman ka ng konti ngayon.
Yes, you have to. Yeah. Okay. So again, just to remind everybody, we have actually delegates from other countries.
Okay.
So I'm so if we could speak in English for now,
Okay.
starting now. Okay. Next, we have the next question is actually towards Nishita. So hi, Nishita. The last time I saw you was during the International Assembly in San Diego.
Yes.
So,
So glad we could connect virtually.
I know. Well, anyway, let's proceed to the next question. The next question is, can you share the efforts being done by Rotarians and Rotaractors in India related to Elevate Rotaract?
It's very important that we have Elevate Rotaract with us, and how well is the main concept is that how a Rotaractor should be the future Rotarians, and I firmly believe that we are the future of Rotary. So, being a part of my nation, India, there are many joint ventures that have been come up. Considering we all are facing this pandemic right now, there have been most of in-hand work that takes place, wherein mostly Rotarians are on field having helping people in terms of needs and all the financial crisis. Apart from pandemic, there's also been more of bonding. There's more of interaction. It's of basically of one family that we believe, and it's very important that we involve Rotaractors and Rotarians together. There should be more understanding between each others, and that's what is being going on in India. There are many Rotaractors that have been involved in the committees of Rotary, and it's a very good step wherein we firmly believe that it's the innovation of Rotaractors and the experience of Rotarians that will create this major impact. Yes.
Okay, that's a really great effort for the Rotaractors and Rotarians in India. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. Sir Chalk, I receive this question a lot whenever I talk to Rotarians, not only in our district, but also in different districts as well. And this is actually a special question from past district Chief of Staff Jesse Tenchanko, as well as my dad, because they're planning to charter a Rotaract club. Unfortunately, since there's no longer an age limit, let's set things straight. Can Rotarians join a Rotaract club as well?
I wish we can all do that because even I is planning to start a new club after hearing all this. But unfortunately, we are not allowed to start a Rotaract club if we are already a Rotarian. But what we can do is we can mentor Rotaractors as they start their clubs.
Okay, so unfortunately, everybody, once you're a Rotarian, you cannot join our Rotaract club. Again, I think it defeats the purpose of why we remove the age limit. The reason that we remove the age limit is because we want to contain these Rotaractors to stay in our organization and later on transition to be Rotarians. So I think it
Exactly.
would defeat the purpose if Rotarians will go back to Rotaract. Okay, thank you, Sir Chalk. Back to Nishita. Have you, since you'll be the Rotaract moderator for this coming Rotary International Virtual Assembly, our question is, have you already planned on how Elevate Rotaract will form part of the discussion during the RI Virtual Assembly next year?
Yes, that's definitely in the plan. I'm yet not allowed to disclose all the sessions and all the plannings, but yes, it has been involved because that's a major chunk. Rotaractors are involved this year as well. And I think so we both are very proud of the fact that we were from the first batch and we learned a lot. Yes, it has been included this year as well.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Nishita. And yeah, I would like to agree with her since our first session with the International Assembly, it's always been a part of the International Assembly since 2019 that Elevate Rotaract should be actually talked about. Okay, thank you, Nishita. Let's go back to Sir Chalk. Sir Chalk, you mentioned about multi-district information organization or MDIOs. Is Rotary International looking at how to elevate the role of MDIOs? And also, there may be Rotarians around the world who are not yet actually familiar with an MDIO or a multi-district information organization. What is RI's take on this?
Actually, the RI is very excited with what MDIO is doing. They're looking into, for example, the Philippines on how we do things for MDIO. There will be an MDIO Leaders Summit very soon happening this November, and we will be attending that to observe because RI wants to hear what the MDIOs are doing. For the Rotarians information, the MDIO's role is to really come up with a solid way of sending information to our Rotaractors in terms of implementing policies on things about electing their officers, handling club projects, and things like that. So this is a good way really to, kaya in the Philippines, our advocacy for MDIO is what we call one Rotaract, one country, because we want really to have a solid group of Rotaractors who are really moving together as one group. So yeah, we're excited. Are I excited to learn about MDIO?
Okay, thank you, sir. Uh, Apologies for that. Again, thank you, Sir Chalk. Okay, let's proceed to our next question. And this is actually from past President Adele Corpus. I think you could figure out why we have the same last name. The question is for both of for Sir Chalk and Nishita. The question is, will it be good for Rotaractors if Rotarians pay for their dues? So I think if they join Rotary, if I'm not mistaken, would it be okay or would it be a good practice rather if a Rotarian pay for their dues? Anyone from Sir Chalk or Nishita?
Maybe Nishita first, then I'll.
Yes,
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
See, this question is really very interesting, and it again depends upon areas because there are certain areas like which are dependent financially on Rotary, and it so happens that if we do not support these Rotaractors, they will lose those members. There are areas which do very well. So again, my stance on this would be depending upon area. If it is required to boost the Rotaractors, Rotary can definitely help them in terms of financial needs. And there is a particular area wherein the Rotaractors do earn very well.
Mhm.
Please apologize if I say anything wrong, but yes, they do earn a lot, and it's more of self-development and helping the community. So I don't think so. It should teach them to have this contribution to the fees and make this world a better place.
Thank you, Nishita. As mentioned by Nishita, it really depends on the profile of the Rotaract clubs. If you think your Rotaractors are in need of that support, maybe for the first year we can help them, and then we train them how to generate their own funds. As I mentioned earlier, mentoring is really essential here. um, I really want our Rotaractors to realize the value of giving monetary contribution to the foundation. In my own district, that has been my struggle, explaining to them the importance of giving a little contribution. Again, it's just sacrificing two Starbucks for a student, and maybe sacrificing one spa for a Rotaractor, just to support what is more essential, and that is to contribute to the foundation, contribute to Rotary, and make a difference to the world. So, again, mentoring, prepare them this year so that next year they are ready. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Chalk and Nishita. Again, I think it would depend for one club to another. If they
Mhm.
really need help, then it wouldn't hurt if we help them a little. However, let's also forget that there is actually a limit to everything.
Mhm.
So let's
Mhm.
not just depend to our Rotarians all of it. there should be a limit to everything. Again, there's a difference between mentorship and just, um, allowing them to be too dependent on our Rotarians. So
And
thank
Rota-
you again, sir.
and just to add, a lot of Rotaractors have been wanting to be elevated in the organization, and if they really want to experience what Rotarians are experiencing, then maybe we can start training them to give a little to Rotary.
Okay, thank you, Sir Chop and Nishita. Let's proceed to the next question. This is again for both of you, so anyone could answer. Per Pilipinas Rotaract, MDIO, or Multi-District Information Organization data, there were already 150, again, 150 Rotaractors in the Philippines who became Rotarians. What do you think Rotarians should do in order rather to attract more Rotaractors into Rotary? And then for Nishita, can you share about how Indian Rotaractors are crossing over to Rotary?
So maybe I'll go first. In the Philippines, it's been an issue. A lot of young Rotaractors are not transitioning to Rotary, and many of us are forced to join Rotary at first. Just like me, when I finished GSE, that's my way of paying back the club. I have to be a member. But then, because of the Rotarians who serve as my mentors, as good example, I was able to really decide for myself to stick with Rotary and to continuously and even charter my own club. It's really about showing what Rotary is doing, being good examples, walking the talk all the time. For example, when we as Rotarians, when we are invited for a Rotaract event, be there on time, be there ahead of time so that they'll see how Rotarians are doing it properly. And that's the only way we can motivate them and show them what Rotary is really doing in the world. Diba? Yun lang naman, that's the only thing that we can really do. Be a good example to our Rotaractors.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes,
Um, Apologies for that. And how about Nishita?
I
Can you
would
share about how Indian Rotaractors are crossing over to Rotary?
yes, I would completely agree with Jock. It has happened that way, that we need to lead by example. The rate right now here is not that fast. It's gradually coming up. There are Rotaractors who are interested to join Rotary. There is force also and there is willingness also. It's a two-way 50-50. But I think right now what we do, it should be portrayed to all the world round. So social media is the major weapon we have right now to showcase all that we do. There are many wonderful projects that Rotary does, Rotaract does. But if it has not been publicized, there's no knowledge of what Rotary and what Rotaract can do. So I think we can all publicize whatever good things we do and encourage members to join in, because there are a lot of individuals who want to serve for the community, serve for themselves, help each and everyone. So if we give them knowledge or give them a chance of this is happening somewhere, they might have an opinion of let's join and be a part of this organization.
Okay, thank you, Nishita. Um, Next question. Again, this is for both of you. Anyone could answer. What type of Rotaract club should Rotary clubs prefer to charter? Again, what type of Rotaract club should Rotary clubs charter? Especially we're in the middle of the pandemic and with all of this Elevate Rotaract is going. Do you prefer chartering school-based Rotaract clubs or community-based Rotaract clubs? Anyone?
That is a very
Yeah,
good question, but I'll
yes.
I'll ask Nishita to go first. I'll think
Yeah.
about it.
Uh, uh, that's what I feel. Again, this is a area-wise question, depends upon regions. There are certain areas which have a lot of universities and certain areas which would like to go with community. Advantage with university-based club is that there's a lot of members that join in. Suppose if you start with the community-based clubs, you might start off with 20 members. But when it's university-based, you can have a larger number, say 50 or 100. And that's when they pass out, there's a chance of they joining a community club as well. So you inculcate those values in them right in their youth, so they understand that what is the importance. So yes, I think it should be balanced in both the ways, depends on the region.
So I would like to highlight also that we need as a district, we know our areas. If we see that our area is composed of young professionals. If we, for example, our club is in Makati, or I don't know, in Quezon City, for example, you have to really profile the community. If you think there's a good possibility of you to create more Rotaract clubs that are university based, then do that, and then really train them to start building, or should I say, start working on creating a community-based club in the near future. And then if you have community-based clubs now, you invite more people. Now diversity is, what we are advocating in Rotary. You can invite people not only from your area but also from other areas. Now there are e-clubs, there are, flex, there's a lot of flexibility now. So I need you to look into your club, the profile of your club, your Rotary club, and then try to reach out. What type of young members do we want to be members in the future? So that's the thing that I want to highlight there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to the both of you. So actually, we're about to wrap up. So we still have last two questions, and then we'll ask your closing remarks on our topic for this evening. So our second to the last question: District Rotaract representatives play a vital role in promoting and expanding Rotaract in the district level. However, in some areas, the DRRs or the district Rotaract representatives are challenged with financial or non-financial support from the Rotary district, and this is a reality for everybody. What are your thoughts about this? And is there a plan to expand the power or the role of DRRs in relation to Elevate Rotaract? Again, this question is for both of you.
I don't know
How
how
will
Nishita will react to the story of the district Rotaract representatives in their region is different. Maybe she can go first. Go ahead, Nishita.
I think yes, region-wise, I think every DRR every year has a set of plans that he or she is planning well in advance as to how to move about. There should also be financial plan that needs to be put in place, because you always require a backup. Not necessary that if you approach a particular sponsor, you target a particular amount, not necessarily you're going to get the same amount. So you need to have a backup plan. You need to have your financial credits planned properly as to what can be done. It's always not possible to get that same generation. If you get it today, if you get it tomorrow, it's not possible that you'll get it for the next year as well. So I believe there has to be proper financial planning for this. And personally, being a DRR, I feel you definitely have to shell out certain amount from your pockets as well. If you want to do for the better, you have to shell out yourself.
With the Elevate Rotaract, I think it's clear that the RI president wants us to put committees in the district level. So one of the things that we need to also look into as a Rotary club or the Rotary district, is to put a good amount of support to Rotaract, especially to our DRRs, in terms of funding their how do you call this, their service to the organization, because they will go around the district. Meeting clubs is very difficult, so if we can do that, the better. And in our district alone, we are now giving, before, during my time, I heard that there's like $50,000 budget for Rotaract, or 50,000 pesos, no, for Rotaract. And now I'm not sure how much is the budget for Rotaract. Maybe it's bigger. I don't know. Pero we are now encouraging the Rotaract clubs to contribute to the foundation at least $30. That's the challenge for them, because we are opening the district grant for Rotaracts. So that's our way of training them so that they will be prepared in applying for global grants in the future. So again, we need to sit as a district and talk about Rotaract now and how we can help them.
Yeah, even I would like to add that every year, in my district at least, the DG has allotted amount of fund that has been given to the DRR for the progress of the entire year. And apart from that, I think so every district has this DRR dues that need to be handed over to the district. And every Rotary club mandatory supports their Rotaract club, so that's also helps them a lot.
Okay, thank you, Sir Chalk and Nishita. And in the case of our district, we have what we call the Youth Service Fund. So it is actually allocated for the Early Act, the Interact, and the Rotaract program. So we use that fund to help us with the different activities that our district has. Okay, so last question for our session this evening. Um, for those unanswered questions, don't worry, we'll try to answer them later on and send you the replies. So the last question to both of our panelists before we ask their closing message. What do you think should what do you think should Rotary clubs rather do in order to make Elevate Rotaract successful at the local level? Again, what do you think should Rotary clubs do in order to make Elevate Rotaract successful at the local level?
I would like to start by saying that for the Rotary clubs, we need to educate our fellow Rotarians about what's happening with the organization. Once they are aware of what's happening to Rotaract in particular, they'll be able to see how they can help our Rotaractors make all this a reality. And again, I'll go back to what I've been telling you since I started the discussion. I want you to really mentor your Rotaractors how to become awesome Rotarians. Show them what we are doing so that they will be encouraged to do more for our organization. That's for me. Thank you.
Completely agree with you, Joke. It's very important that knowledge should be shared among, and the support is required right now, as well as from road practitioners who need to educate Rotarians who have don't have that much knowledge about Elevate Rotaract and what has to be done. It should be two-way. Both should support each other. Both should help each other in knowing what is the importance of each organization and how important it is for a road tractor to be turned out into an amazing Rotarian, and how an amazing Rotarian can churn out the best of a road tractor.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you Nishita. Thank you Sir Chalk for taking this time off to be with us this evening or this day. So before we end our panel discussion in our open forum, can I ask just a short closing message about our topic this evening? Maybe we could start with Nishita, followed by Sir Chalk.
Yes, firstly, I would like to thank Louis for contacting me and being invited for this Rotary Academy that you'll have, being the 16th session. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you to all the Rotarians and Rotaractors who were a part of this. Thank you to the beautiful moderator, Nicole, for being such a sweet Rotaract and helping in most of our conversations. And yes, I am really impressed and motivated and inspired by the talk by Choke. It's really elevating me right now to be a part of this moment and go back home to my home and my club basically, and to educate them in what is a necessity, that why is it so important that we understand these concepts and in terms be a good Rotarian at the end of the day. Yes, thank you.
Thank you also, Nishita, and to everyone for inviting us here in your event. And siguro, my closing message is this: be that Rotarian leader who will make history this starting this year. We are going to make history by making sure that our Rotaractors, the young people of our generation, will now contribute and do more for the community. We need to empower the young people. And, you know, as Rotarians, our major role really is to become mentors and friends of these young people. Let's not act like Rotaractors. They need Rotarians as mentors and not Rotarians who are playing with them, or, you know, be that mentor, be that example to your Rotaractors. And I'm pretty sure that we will continue to elevate Rotaract with your help. So thank you very much, and God bless everyone.
Okay, thank you very much to our speaker and our panelists for sharing your time and knowledge about Elevate Rotaract. And to our participants, we hope that we were able to clarify, hopefully, and enlighten your concerns about the current status of Rotaract in our organization. So once again, thank you. Okay, back to you, Doc Jeff.
Thank you very much, CP Aya, and our speaker, Mr. Chalk, and our panelist, Ms. Nishita. That was a very informative session, and we really had a meaningful panel discussion earlier. We hope that you learned something new today. And now, to show our gratitude, may I call on the chair of the Pilipinas Rotaract MDIO, past District Rotaract Representative and Rotarian Louis Boy Derial to present the certificate of appreciation to our speakers.
Thank you, Dr. Again, I was happy to have this honor to present this certificate of appreciation. So Rotary International District 3780, in cooperation with the Pilipinas Rotaract MDIO, would like to present this plaque of appreciation to Charter President Melchor Choc and Cabo as our resource speaker on the topic Elevate Rotaract of the Rotary Academy Class 16 hosted by the Rotary Club of West Central. Given this 25th day of November 2020, signed by our District Governor, Johnny Gauyu, our District Trainer, past District Governor Danilo Dani Fausto, and our Rotary Academy Dean, past District Governor Rufino Penny Policarpio III. Again, thank you very much. Also, but not the least, we would also like to recognize this, Nishita Pednekar for also sharing her insights as one of our panelists to the topic Elevate Rotaract of the Rotary Academy Class 16 hosted by the Rotary Club of West Central. Given this 25th day of November 2020 and signed by the same set of persons earlier. Thank you, Nishita.
Thank you so much.
The Pilipinas Rotaract MDIO and the rest of the more than 13,000 Rotaractors in our country, we would like to thank you, Nishita and Chok, the Rotary International District 3780 and its leaders, and of course, the Rotary Club of West Central who hosted this Elevate Rotaract National Summit. For us Rotaractors, I myself is also a Rotaractor at the same time Rotarian. We see Elevate Rotaract not just as a move to widen the gap between Rotary and Rotaract, but actually to set a platform for Rotarians and Rotaractors to strengthen our working relationship and to collaborate in shaping the future of Rotary, which is our beloved organization. So I hope to all Rotarians and Rotaractors who attended this summit, you may be our ambassadors in sharing the Elevate Rotaract policy changes, and I hope you can help us in making this Elevate Rotaract successful in your own clubs in our country so that we will become a model for other regions to follow. So thank you, and back to you, Dr.
Thank you, Cholo. It has been a wonderful and informative evening for all of us. Before we end tonight's session, let us have one last poll to check if your perceptions about Elevate Rotaract has changed. Again, we have 20 seconds to answer the poll. Please answer them as honest as possible. Okay, so let's launch the poll now. Okay, again for the first question, are you in favor of the removal of the upper age limit for the Rotaractors? Next question, are you in favor of enabling Rotaract clubs to be chartered without Rotaract club sponsor? For the third question, are you in favor of collecting annual per capita dues for the Rotaractors? Fourth question, are you in favor of allowing Rotaractors to apply for global grants? And finally, are you in favor of appointing Rotaractors in Rotary District Committees? Okay. Thank you very much for being honest on our poll questions. Again, we hope you learned a lot from our session today. Okay, for the results, are you in favor for the removal of the upper age limit for the Rotaractors? Oh, now there are more yes responses. So for the next question, are you in favor of enabling Rotaract clubs to be chartered without Rotary Club sponsor? Okay, there are more yes now. And for the third question, are you in favor of collecting annual per capita dues for the Rotaractors? Okay, so majority answered yes, 75% of the participants answered yes, and only 20% answered no. And for the fourth question, are you in favor of allowing Rotaractors to apply for global grants? Okay, majority, like 51 out of the 56 respondents answered yes. And for the final question, are you in favor of appointing Rotaractors in Rotary District Committees? So majority again answered yes, 49 out of the 56 respondents. So I guess there has been a significant change in the responses of our participants before and after the session. Okay. So and now may I once again call on our virtual stage past District Governor Rufino Penny Policarpio for his closing remarks.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Jeff, our very, very able moderator for this evening. And dear friends, fellow Rotaractors and fellow Rotarians, friends of the Academy, thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts for sharing this time, this precious time with us this evening. Um, on behalf of the entire district training team and the Rotary Academy team, we thank you for sharing this time with us. To all the 126 participants at one point in time, thank you to all of you for being here. And we hope that we were able to elevate your knowledge about Rotaract and Rotary. And we hope that whatever you have learned tonight, you will go back to share with your clubs and with your communities and with your families. It is said that the future of Rotary is in our hands, but really, it is in the hands of those who will come after us, the next generation. And we have seen the future of Rotary tonight. We have seen them in the voice and the faces of Chalk, Aya, Jeff, Nishita, Louis, and all the Rotaractors who share this time with us. And it is a very beautiful sight, and the future indeed looks good for all of us. It is refreshing. It is a breath. It is like a breath of fresh air. And so let us uh, let us hope and pray and work for a better future by nurturing our Rotaractors and by nurturing our friendship and our working relationship with our fellow Rotaractors from here on, because they will be the ones who will carry Rotary into its next century. And so today, as we close this very interesting, very informative, and inspiring session, we thank Chalk, Jeff, Nishita, Aya, Louis, PDRR Darren, I see him on my screen, for being with us and for sharing this time and this moment with us. And it is our hope that this is just the beginning of a long and happy working relationship and friendship between Rotaractors and Rotarians. And so, before we finally adjourn, I would like to invite everyone to share is a few moments to simply reflect upon the insights, the the principles that bind us together, the meaning of our commitment to Rotary, by listening to this very beautiful hymn that we all call the Rotary Hymn, the song and the words that bind us together in this organization we love and we call Rotary. So to all of you, thank you, and we will see you again next Wednesday for our penultimate session, class 17 of the Rotary Academy, and we are going to talk about the Rotary story. And what a beautiful way to end our semester in the Rotary Academy, to talk about how to tell the Rotary story. And that Rotary story has a lot to do with Rotaract as we know tonight. So maraming salamat. Thank you wherever you are in the world. Our our friendship and our heartfelt gratitude go to each one of you. Thank you.